So, welcome to Volunteer The Hague Talks. This is our episode 3, and I'm your host, Laura Linga. Today is all about finding purpose without pressure, and why finding a place to belong, like through volunteering, is the best way to regulate your stress and find your rooting here or footing here in the new country. To help us unpack the science of habits and the power of connection, I am so excited to welcome our guest for today. She is a psychologist, the founder of AntiLoneliness and Therapy Business Cycle, and a leading expert here in the Netherlands and worldwide on nervous system regulation and building meaningful relationships. She helps people move from feeling isolated to feel grounded and connected. I'm so pleased to welcome Vassia Sarantopoulou. Vassia, it's so good to see you and have you with us today. How are you?
I'm doing really well. I'm very happy, very excited to be here. Looking forward to having this conversation together with you.
Thank you.
Let's find ways how we can go through February, actually, without actually thinking that the year is over and there's no point in us starting anything from scratch.
Yeah.
We still have time.
Yes, we do have time. Is there one small guilty pleasure or habit that is getting you through the great Dutch winter this month? Any tips?
Well, I try to create some warmth inside. And that you can do it either with changing the environment where you are or with the activities that you're doing. And to tell you from my experience what I do, I dim the lights at the end of the day. Sometimes some evenings I also light up the fireplace. I put on like a comedy or a very soft movie that I can watch on Netflix. I have my cats to keep me company, my fluffy blanket. And in regards to the activities that I do is nothing related to work, because that can also bring me back into the stressful mindset of, I need to do something.
Yeah.
But contrary-wise, what I do is really, low energy. Maybe I will watch a movie or a series, as I said, or maybe I will just read. I like poetry. I will read a poetry book,
nice.
Or I will write something. So that's how I, spend the evenings trying to regulate, but also to create some warmth inside.
Yeah, I love that. I definitely do the same thing. My guilty pleasure is watching The Office. I don't know. It's just so fun to watch these people, trying to figure out their connection with their colleagues. And it's just nice that, you can always laugh from their jokes and you could also relate from it. I would say that's my guilty pleasure, and I drink wine.
Okay, all right, yeah. It's different for every person, because
exactly.
I would never watch The Office to relax. All these situations in the workplace really would make me upset.
We're here to, discuss about the February reset and what has happened during the holidays and the New Year, the January. I think we could start talking about the slump or the Santa Claus logic. You mentioned that into one of your newest video or series on YouTube. I'm curious, why does February feel so much heavier than January? Why is that?
Well, we start usually January, the year, with a lot of expectations. But also, let's see what happened before January. We had 2 also very heavy months, November and December. We were preparing for parties, for traveling, celebrations, Sinterklaas, presents. We were always in a constant commotion. Christmas dinners, invited at the workplace, invited by friends, by family. We had to be in so many places. And through all this commotion, we also had the pressure that January is coming, the new year is coming. We have to create the new me, the new habits, the new routines. What are we going to change in our lives from January? Because that's our only opportunity to change. And we put already so much stress on ourselves and on an already dysregulated nervous system, on our already exhausted body. We're putting so much stress. And then January comes, And then we keep hustling. We are like, we have set already so many goals that we are overwhelmed. We're trying to change so many habits on so many levels. The morning, the evening, the routines.
The morning runs.
The morning runs, the gym memberships.
Yes.
The classes that we want to attend. And then, exactly, by the end of January, beginning of February, we already feel defeated.
Yes.
It didn't work. We didn't manage.
Why?
The new self is not here. The new me didn't arrive.
It's still you.
Yes. And the Santa Claus logic that I shared is that, the Santa Claus is coming to the kids, that they were behaving.
The gifts.
The gifts,
yes.
Yeah, because they are in the good list, so they will get a gift. If you didn't behave, you're not in the good list, you're in the bad list, so you're not going to get a present. So we kind of behave to ourselves in a similar way. If we are, actually, we were not the good kids in the previous year, so this year we have to do the right thing. We have to be good kids. We have to behave. We promised. And we didn't keep our promises last year, so we have to. So what I want to say with that is that we start already the new year with a sense of self-punishment.
Right.
We're punishing ourselves for all the things we didn't achieve last year, and now we have to make it up. Now we have to change.
Lots of pressure.
Lots of pressure. And the sense of new me is already adding shame. Because what's wrong with the old me that has to completely, change and become something else?
Exactly, yeah.
And all these, talking about the nervous system, is very overwhelming for the nervous system. The shaming, I'm doing something wrong. Am I going to succeed now? Am I going to be the same, wrong person with the wrong habits? Is it going to happen again? All this is already heavy. Not only in the form of actions, of course the actions are too much, but also in the sense of how we view ourselves. There's something wrong with me and I have to change.
Right, yeah, where did it start? Who invented it, that there's something wrong with you and you have to change every new year?
And why does it have to change only now?
Yeah.
And not in March,
exactly.
Or not in June, or not in September.
Yeah.
Like again,
or not every day.
Every day, yeah, exactly. We have this all or nothing mindset. Either now or you're done.
Yeah.
You lost your opportunity. Kind of a FOMO situation, like, oh my God, I have to do it in January, otherwise I'm going to miss the opportunity. But there's opportunity every day, as you said.
And when does the person feel, when does the burnout or the burning out comes, with that Santa Claus logic? Like, is it because, there's so much pressure with, the new year, new you, or, yeah?
A lot of pressure that translates to a lot of decisions. Decision fatigue, we call it, when we have to make so many decisions. An overwhelming load for the brain to create and sustain these habits. A new habit is for the brain like learning a new language, like learning Chinese, something very overwhelming, a new habit. Yeah. The brain doesn't have a place for this new habit, so it has to create, the place. It has to create like a whole protocol. It's not like you're brushing your teeth and your brain knows every day that automatically you brush your teeth morning and evening. It's a completely new software. So imagine if you want to begin 10 new habits this year, the morning run or the yoga, the meditation, the journaling, the social activities, whatever. Imagine that you want to start this year with 10 new activities. The most probable that will happen will be that your brain will be like, yeah, sure.
Well, actually, I can relate
We're
to
not
that.
going to do that, bye.
I started journaling.
Yeah.
Again, I keep starting it in January, and then after 10 days, I failed. Yeah, and I know that I'm failing because I can see my journal book in front of me, but I'm not touching it. But my brain wants to, but then my body is not. Yeah. Why is that? Where is that coming from? Entire January, it's so exhausting. I was so tired. my nervous system is really like, it's so fast, you know, it's just bouncing.
Restless.
Yeah, it's restless.
Yeah.
So, yeah, how can people like me, for everyone watching there, how can we not fight, but control it? I guess that's the right word.
Yeah. Our brain is wired for survival. Not for thriving, but for survival. And if something is threatening that survival, your brain will say, okay, I'm going to send a signal to your whole body so that you will feel overwhelmed, you will feel tired, and then you're not going to pursue this thing. So your body is protecting you.
Mm-hmm.
So the way to do that is if we do it in small, actionable steps, very small. So in the beginning, we're not aiming for big results, we're aiming just to establish the habit.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we want to make it pleasant. Let's take journaling. You start the journaling, okay? Journaling will show its effect, not the first day you do it, but, you know, maybe after a month, you will start feeling, you know, how it is to process your feelings. You will start feeling more regulated. You will start
It felt good. It felt good, you know, and then like I always look back to it every other day that like, oh, wow, feels good. Okay, I'm going to keep writing and then doing something.
And what stopped you then?
I don't know. I think what stopped me, I have no idea, honestly, but I think it's more about there's other tasks that I have to do. But then I know in my mind, every time I see the journal, the book, it's like, oh, that will only take you 1 minute probably, just to write some keyword. And I start doing it on the 5th day. Just, you know, to put one sentence, write one sentence or 2 words, and it reminds me already of what I did today.
Yeah.
So, and then somehow that's slowly gone. It became 1 word literally and then no word at all.
Yeah. Okay. So then your brain is not still convinced
that I can do this.
That you can do this, or that is more useful than your other tasks. Because you say I have other tasks.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
Your brain is not convinced that this is more useful than doing the tasks.
Yeah, like when I sit journaling or writing for 5 minutes, it's not going to wash the dishes. It's not going to wash the laundry.
Yeah,
you know, it's not going to move the train. So I'd rather do other tasks than journaling. Like I can always do that later or in the end of the day, but then you're already exhausted and you forgot about it.
Well, choosing the right moment is also very important. If you just want to do it just before you go to work, then you're risking, of course, you know, putting it aside because you have to catch the train, as you say. So choosing the right moment is important. In general, we want to create an experience that the brain will clearly see that it's to our benefit. Because when you do it just before you leave for work, your brain says, what are you doing? You're sabotaging your work here.
Yeah, exactly. I have a volunteering gig to do. Like, I have to be there.
Yeah. So any conflict will convince the brain that we don't need journaling.
Right.
So we have to create the circumstances. We have to create, you know, an environment, including the timing or the place, the location, where the brain can clearly see that now it's the time and I can see the benefit of it, and I will keep reminding you so that you can do it.
Soft discipline versus hustle culture. Let's talk about that, because you also mentioned in one of your videos about the soft discipline, right?
What I want to make clear is that because there's a misunderstanding, when people hear the soft discipline, they understand that, oh, okay, so I'm going to be lazy, right? But that's not the case.
Yeah.
It's not that the hustling people are, you know, way ahead and the soft discipline people, they're just
lazy.
You know, going like a turtle. No. We're aiming at the same goals, at the same achievements, but we want to go there having enjoyed the journey, having enjoyed the journey. We both have the same goals, but we want to go there in a sustainable manner.
Like slowly. You're still hustling, but then you're slowly hustling.
And by slowly, I mean managing energy in a wise way, in a correct way. Of course, if you want, you can achieve something in 2 months, but if you need another 6 months to recover from your burnout, then you didn't achieve anything in 2 months, you achieved it in 8. So if you
Damn.
so if you want to achieve something and give yourself the right tools to be in contact with your energy, with what gives you joy, with what is aligned, where do you channel your energy, then that's the sustainable way. That's the discipline that you want to have. Soft, which means managing the energy, but also aligned. Because there are many times that we are doing things that we didn't even sit and choose them. Somebody else has chosen them for us, or society has chosen them for us. We think we want it. We spend so much energy on it, but actually we didn't want. And after we have a burnout, we're like, that's not me. Why did I do that?
So, before I started my journey with Volunteer The Hague Talks, I was looking for a job. I wanted to have a part-time job. I was studying that time. I just want extra money, and then also I want to be meaningful. I started volunteering. I find it as an alternative, and I would say that was my soft discipline part. Volunteering, it's giving me something in a way that I can apply my skills and learn something.
Give yourself permission to look for a job in whatever time span it takes. What you did, you actually helped your nervous system to calm. And what happens is that when we are allowing ourselves to be regulated, to be calm, we are getting out of the fight or flight response, which completely blocks our rational and good thinking. This is the prefrontal cortex here that's the smart thinking, the good decision. So when we are calm, we make better decisions. To say it in a simple way.
Yeah.
When we are in panic, where we are in stress, we make panic decisions. We might choose a job that we might regret later. We can answer the question, what it is that I want to do, only when we have intentional breaks during our day. When we are in this autopilot, restless, as we said before, you don't have these breaks. You just go from work to Albert Heijn, to work, to cook, to meeting people. There's no break.
No break.
People ask you to do something. Your friend says, I registered to the gym. You should do that. Yeah, I will. And then you say yes without even checking. Somebody else says, I started a new dance class. Yeah, I will. And then you say yes. But you don't have time to check with yourself. Do I really want that? I don't know what I want. And that's the decision making included into the soft discipline. What do I want? Where I'm going to channel my energy? Time, money, energy. I'm going to spend time, energy, and money this year. Where this should go? Where do I want this to go? Have you seen this? Probably you've seen this movie, The Notebook. So there's a couple that they want to be together, but they cannot be together.
Yes.
There's always barriers and challenges. And there's a scene where the man is asking the woman, what do you want? Because she's confused. She wants to be with him, but at the same time, she wants the safe life, what society approves. And she keeps coming back to him, but also she is committed to the other part. And there's one scene that he is really intensely asking her, what do you want? And she's completely blocked. What do you want? And she's like, I don't know. But that's one of the most important questions that we are asking ourselves. We need to ask ourselves every day, what do I want? How do I want to spend my day? What's the intention that I start the day? Is it with energy? Is it with compassion? Is it with focus? Is it with connection? Is it a day of connection? Like starting with that intention today. I remember that I had a client that she was saying to me, every morning I put on the alarm, I wake up really early, 8 o'clock, and I take my journal and I write the things that I want to do this day. And there are so many, and I calculate the work that I should have done and the work that is already pending, and I cannot get out of bed before 12 because I am completely overwhelmed. And at 12, I'm feeling already guilty. Here's another day that I ruined. So starting with the intention, but one thing that will filter, that will color the day-to-day. Not what are the 20 tasks that I want to fulfill, but what is the intention?
I remember when I was working in Morocco, I was working with a nonprofit organization. I never had a chance to ask myself, what do I want in this job? You know, because there's never the need to ask that, because the job is actually ask you that. Or, you know, they present you that, oh, what do we want? We want you to do this. But when I started volunteering, and especially here with Volunteer The Hague, you know, Titiana is Volunteer The Hague project lead. She asked me, what do I want?
Yeah.
You know, she never tells me, this is what I want, Laura. I want you to do this. I want you to do that. No, she asked me, what do I want? Why are you here? You know, what do you want to bring as well? And that felt good. You know, I never had the chance to be asked, what do I want? And I never had to say, I don't know. You can share your skills and you can share what you want to do and what makes you happy and what makes you feel good. And then you don't, I never felt that that I'm going to fail, or that I'm about to fail, that I might be a failure after this. Because I feel like, especially here with Volunteer The Hague, you know, they offer me an opportunity to understand that you will always fail with something. You know, there's always failure, and don't be scared with that failure.
I will tell you another example that I had from when I was doing a workshop in an organization. And they invited me there to talk about perfectionism and how perfectionism can actually be a barrier in our productivity, and of course can induce a lot of stress, and we are getting stuck because of that perfectionism. And the example that they brought was that there were people that even when they were writing a report, let's say, or for a project, they would go back and forth on this report like 1,000,000 times. It would never be good enough. So the want question can apply not only on the big level, like the big picture level, but also on the small level. How much time do I want to spend on a report? Again, intention, again, strategic thinking that allows ourselves to manage our energy better. If we don't know, if we don't set that vessel of how much time we want to spend, then we were going to spend the whole day reviewing the email, reviewing the report, and going back and forth, and read comments, and another red comment, and make it better, and make it better. If we don't set that filter of what it is good enough and what is not, then we will spend all our energy. And then you wonder, why did I get burnout? Because I spent my days doing things that are already good enough in the first 20 minutes, not in 3 hours. Again, the intention.
The intention.
The intention. And the good enough element that you said something about before, about making mistakes.
The fear of the failure.
Yeah, exactly. So one of the things that I would suggest when we're starting to work on this soft discipline is be forgiving to ourselves. Starting a new habit, either that's your journaling, which you said already that it started from a page, it went to a paragraph, to a sentence, to a word now, and it feels like a failure. What will get you in the game, back in the game, would be to be forgiving to yourself.
Right.
There's something in this project that didn't go well. And it's okay, because I'm still in the trial and error phase.
Right, yeah.
I still try to figure out what works in my journaling, the way that I do it, the time that I do it, or the environment, or the tools that I use. There's something that didn't work. So I forgive myself for not having it perfect the first 2 weeks of January, and go back and try and err, so that I can figure out again. Being forgiving is the only thing that high achievers that are becoming champions eventually are learning how to do again and again, allowing themselves to make a mistake, becoming friends with failure, not taking it personally, not quitting because of failure, and then going back into the game.
Yes. And I do think that volunteering and giving back to the community is allowing you to experience that as well. And I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It helps a lot.
It does. Thank you.
Said about being compassionate, being forgiving to yourself. We also talked about finding what you want, which is, in other words, focusing on your values. What is important for me? Starting the year, if your year starts with, again, another membership at the gym, is that what you really value? Do you value health? Do you value fitness? Is that really important? Or you're doing it because, it didn't work last year?
Or peer pressure.
Or was it something else in the previous year that you really longed for? And just because everybody signs up on the gym membership, then you do the same thing. For example, if the previous year you experienced loneliness, you're here in a new country, you're all by yourself, you don't have any connections, and you really struggled with loneliness, and you really wanted a friend or a partner, and it didn't work. Why would the first number one priority would be fitness if the real need, the value that you want to direct yourself this year would be connection, would be relationships? So instead of starting new habits on health, which is something maybe that you don't need, or maybe it's going really well.
I mean, if you're healthy, you don't have to, if you think you're healthy you're not struggling to bike, and then you can take a pause or go back to the membership later.
Again, going back into the want. What do you really want this year? If you're missing friends, what if you start habits that are related to relationships and connections? And maybe volunteering would be one, because you would be part of a group.
So or networking,
joining new activities that are social activities,
coffee dates,
anything. So what is really necessary? What is it that we really want and dream and long for? That would set the tone, the right tone for January or February, not what we have to do.
Yes.
Or you also see the Goodreads list, how many books are you going to read this year? 20, 50, But maybe that's not what you really miss in your life.
Yeah.
You don't miss time alone to read. Yes, maybe that's also important. But maybe what you really miss is, what we said, connection or mental health. And you need to do something about mental health and well-being instead of focusing on reading 20 books for this year. The third tip is remove ourselves from these numerical goals. Again, it's about the values. What is important? Yes, I love reading books. And your life is already worthy or happy or successful if you manage to read even 5 pages, 2 pages a day, because that's aligned with your values. So you don't need to count. You don't need to say, oh, I failed because I promised to myself I'm going to read 3 books this month and I read only half. It's not a failure. You already live aligned to your values. So remove from the numerical evaluations. Remove ourselves from counting, calculating the progress, but focusing on how we feel when we're doing these things. As you said in your example, I feel joy working as a volunteer at Volunteer The Hague already, even though I haven't succeeded in finding the job, of my dreams, or finding a job.
On that note, I succeeded.
You succeeded, yes, right. But before that, So that's, focusing on what gives you energy, on what gives you joy, what you really want. And the fourth tip is starting with small steps.
Baby steps.
Baby steps. Because the first thing that your brain wants is to create the space for this habit. Your brain doesn't want you to nail the habit. It wants you only to create the space for that.
Right.
So you having 5 minutes of journaling every day is already good enough. Don't aim for writing pages and journaling for half an hour. 5 minutes, good enough. And you do that, and after, some days, weeks of practicing that, then he can go to the next step, which is, okay, how can I make it better? First the habit, establishing the habit, convincing the brain that we do want that, and it's easy enough to fit in. The book Atomic Habits talks a lot about that.
I love that
How
book.
to make it easy, attractive, so that you can maintain that habit, and then you add another level of difficulty or challenge. But first, the easiest possible.
So you mentioned about, the loneliness as well, and also making connections, right? That maybe, instead of, getting a gym membership, why not start, dating or volunteering, meeting people. You always meet a lot of people when you volunteer, guys. So it doesn't matter what it is or how exciting it is, the volunteering that you're going to do, but you always meet people from there. And that's your starting point. I mean, the world doesn't have to know that you're volunteering, you're just giving back to the community, or you're doing something for free. But you have to know your own world, you have to know it to yourself that you're actually benefiting from it. Connection, making connection. So the social contract and belonging. So there is a question, why is it easier to show up for a group or a volunteer project than it is to show up for ourselves at home?
Again, because the brain...
The brain again.
The
brain is braining.
Well, actually, the brain is a machine. It's not very, I told you, it's about protecting you and surviving, but not about thriving.
So your brain is like your guard, your protector.
Yeah, protector. And if something
like
feels overwhelming or difficult, your brain will just shut it down. Waking up every morning and going for a run, if you do it alone, your brain will try to convince you in the morning, like, are you sure you're gonna go? It's really cold outside.
Yeah.
It's raining.
Yeah.
And actually your sports clothes stink a little bit. Maybe you should have washed it. So maybe today is not a good day for that.
Yeah.
Your brain will try to find any excuse to keep you at home because that's out of your comfort zone.
Right.
But then, when you are part of a group and you do that together, then your brain says, no, we have to go.
Like today, it's so cold today and I didn't want to go out. But no, we have to do a recording. And I'm also excited to see my crew again, and then we have a new crew today.
Exactly.
So I'm excited and I'm also excited to see you. So yeah, my brain says it's so cold. Are you sure you want to do it? But no, you commit to something. And
you said two things. One is, I had to do it because the whole team is waiting, so I cannot let them down.
Of course.
I have to do it. I'm a responsible person. So especially in the beginning, we need external motivation. Some have to, some rule, that will drag us there. And secondly, you say, but I enjoy being with my team.
Yeah.
And the second thing that you did, you had something fun that made you come to that. Your brain has a reason to come to that. Oh, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, when I was walking earlier, it was really cold. And I'm like, no, it's going to be warm inside when we get to the office. And then, we're going to do a lot of things. I'm probably going to be running around. So that excites me.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a reason for your brain to remind you or to actually allow you to do the thing that you wanted to do. Yes, go and do it. Because we will have good company. That's why we need people around us. And also because you're accountable to them.
Yes. So you're being responsible and at the same time you're having fun.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And that's why we go and pay for the membership because we have to. We paid.
Yeah, that's true.
But it doesn't work all the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're like, okay, I don't care. I paid. That's it. But when you have people around you, and you're like, yeah, we're waiting for you. We will come and, pick you up. Or we start the class together at 6 o'clock, join us. Then you're doing it because it's fun, but also because you are accountable.
Right.
Two strong reasons that are related to that social contract, to the people around us. If we would be by ourselves, we would say, who's going to check? Nobody's going to check with me. I don't need to go. And secondly, it's not fun. I'm going to be by myself. I'm going to be sweating, or I'm going to be running in the rain.
No one's tracking.
No one's tracking. So why do it?
Yeah.
Both reasons to quit.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah, of course. And we are wired for connection. And another reason why it helps when we are doing things together with others is, especially I'm talking about high achievers, the people who are setting high goals and
everywhere.
Yes.
That adds a lot of pressure.
Yes.
You know, and that a lot of nervous system to yourself. That there's a lot of people so achieve. They got a new house, new car, new job, new clothing, new whatever new.
And there's nothing wrong about that.
Of course, there's nothing wrong about that. It's always nice when you share, right?
Yes. But what we struggle with is that when we have achieved all these things and still don't feel happy about that.
Exactly.
You have the person that has the great job and a great, family, and they bought a new house, and they still struggle to the degree that they feel depressed, lonely, unhappy,
confused,
empty, still not good enough. Whatever they do is not good enough.
Yeah.
And that is the part that we don't like, not the part that we have achieved. Oh, it's fantastic. But why can we feel happy that we have achieved so much? And that's the element of, is it aligned with what we always wanted? Do we really want that? Why do we want a new house? Why do we want a bigger house? Why do we want, another expensive something, bag, or, what's the need that this fulfills? And we learn to be on this treadmill that never stops, to be strong, to be hyper-independent. But what happens when we are in a group of people that we share the same, fighting and, achieving and all this stuff, is that one day somebody will say, but guys, I don't feel happy. Do you also feel that? Yes, I do. We share the same struggles.
Yeah.
We open up, we become vulnerable. We say, we take off the mask and we can be real. And that's something that we can achieve when, again, we are with people that we share the same values. Even when you're working in a volunteer organization, you already share the same values. You believe in the community.
Yeah, and that's something I'm really proud of with Volunteer The Hague and Volunteer The Hague Talks. That we all share here the same, energy that, and I'm also very proud that we make it to this episode. Yes. Just making it here today and being with you, it's already something that I'm really proud to share to people out there that, if you're still looking for that connection, and if you want to be happier, volunteer. I heard it from the founder of the Happiness Project during the Mix and Match last year. So it was really nice.
Yeah.
If you want to be happier, volunteer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it gives you a sense of meaning because one of the symptoms of burnout is the lack of meaning, the lack of purpose, the detachment from what we're doing.
Exactly.
And it doesn't need to be only work. It can be even, people around us. If we don't feel relating or connecting with them, we don't have something to share, then we also can feel burnout, relational burnout. So being with the right people, doing the things you really want, it's deeply fulfilling.
So for students, international residents, or expats out there, or newcomers in The Hague or in the Netherlands that are watching or listening, who feels completely overwhelmed right now, what is one small soft start they can do today?
Pick one thing. Pick one.
Pick one thing.
Pick one. Just pick one thing.
Yeah, that's what I told myself last year. I need to choose only one, but I ended up choosing 3. So, but I still see it as one.
You can always choose 3, but start with one.
How about you chose 3, but they're all like in one category. For example, it's volunteering. And then now you're volunteering 3. Before it was 5. So it's still in one category. You're still volunteering. So is that still okay?
Yes. So we're talking about whether you're choosing an area of your life or whether you're choosing a habit. So choose one area of your life that you would like to focus first, and then try to see what different habits you can have. So if, for example, the area that you would like to focus this year is community, right? One area that you would like to start focusing. And there are 3 things that you can do in order to serve the community. One can be volunteer. Another thing can be, connect with your neighbors,
Yeah.
for example, right? And then choose another thing. But if every day you're doing one of these 3, you already check the box of serving the community. You're already living a life aligned to your values. So choose one thing and then choose 3 habits that you can do in this area. And every day just do one of them and focus in one of them.
Right. Yeah.
And only when you establish one habit and you create, the framework for that, then you can take the same framework or what you do and succeeded the first time and repeat it in the second. So we can, of course, as I said, we can have more than one habits that we're going to establish this year, but one at a time. And one is established, then we move to the second one.
And the consistency as well. There's the consistency.
Of course. And celebrating every small win. And again, it's not about, doing 10 Ks in 1 month, but it's about already celebrating that I got out of the house, I put on my shoes, I ran for 1K, or I walked for 5Ks. But any possible outcome is worthy of celebrating. And celebrating is good for the brain so that it will remind you tomorrow to do it again. That's what you want, a brain that is your ally, not your enemy.
And the habits continues. Picking one thing continues, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
of course.
And so during the February, is it still okay to say that it's new me, new year, new me, or that's already done? Now you just have to focus with your habits, right?
Every day you have the opportunity to start something new. Something new. You don't need to reinvent yourself. Yourself is perfect as it is. You are, growing. Of course, we're open to growing. But there's nothing new to discover. Everything you need is already inside you. You're rediscovering. You are remembering part of yourself that you didn't focus before because you were just running and being restless, and you didn't have these necessary pauses so that you can see what matters for you. But that's what you're doing new this year. You're creating these intentional breaks so that you can check, am I doing what I really value? Am I doing what truly matters to me?
Yes. Say that to yourself. Yes. Well, Vassia, thank you so much. You've given us the permission to slow down. You gave me permission to slow down. And that's exactly what I need and what we need. And I hope everyone listening or watching right now, you were taking notes from Vassia. And of course, if you're looking for your own community reset, head over to volunteerthehague.nl. There's a place for you out there. There's always a place. Just explore, no pressure, just connection. And thank you so much for our crew for today. Amina, Kawal, and also our new crew member, AC. Thank you guys for being here. And thank you so much, Vassia, for being here and for sharing your expertise, and also for guiding us to be gentle and be also proud with ourselves. That's really important. That's a must words to hear, for motivation. So thank you for coming. And yeah, everyone, my name is Laura Linga, and this is Volunteer The Hague Talks. See you next time. Great. do you guys think? Did we have a nice flow? And are you gonna listen to it? Are you gonna watch it? Is it? Yeah, just no, you don't have to. And then we're gonna do meditation. You're welcome.
But this unexpected rating is really important.
Yes, and spring is coming, so and that's still helpful for this month.
Yes.
Yeah.
Either you're running and you're sweating, or you are having an emotional moment that you're crying, which is perfectly normal.